So I think what we find very alarming in these statistics, and I guess it's alarming, but at the same time it's not surprising, is that legalizing abortion effectively, this is what we've been saying, it would lead to an increased number of abortions. And I think what's particularly alarming about this is that we're seeing that it's actually gone from being one abortion or the occasional abortion, let's call it, and we know already that 38% to 40% of women are having repeat abortions year on year. So if you look at the statistics in the UK, 40% of abortions last year were repeat abortions, and that's something which has been a concern for us, and we're highlighting here. But more importantly than that, and more concerning, is that actually people are going to a further extent having 6, 7, 8 abortions. That's indicative of a much deeper problem, and it's clearly abortion is not the solution to that problem.
Now, in the article that you're referencing, the pro-life lobby in the UK says that the reason why abortion rates are so high is because of recent legislation which allows women to have abortions at home by using a pill. Now, this isn't something that would be on the cards in Gibraltar, would it?
It's not in the proposed legislation. It's something which obviously took a long time to get to in the UK as well. But our campaign is about trying to stop a bill which is effectively abortion on demand happening in Gibraltar and starting that process. So obviously there's a long slippery slope to go down, but we're right now at the top of that, and we really don't want to go down the slope and end up in a position where, yes, it's getting consistently worse for different reasons, but we want to stop that right at the beginning, where we want to prevent what is effectively a bill which is abortion on demand.
The point I'm trying to make is that you're not comparing like with like. For example, in the UK, 72% of abortions in 2018 were carried out in independent medical facilities. That wouldn't be the case with the law that's being proposed in Gibraltar, because an abortion would have to be approved by 2 GHA doctors.
If we're looking at the Gibraltar legislation, what we see is that it's pretty much a copy-paste of the UK legislation. There is some differences, 24 weeks rather than 12 weeks, but overall the main clause which is used in the UK for 98% of abortions is the mental health clause, and that clause is in the Gibraltar legislation as well. So what you would see is effectively the same idea, and again, it's got 12 weeks in Gibraltar law, in the Gibraltar proposed law, but 90-something% of abortions in the UK are under 12 weeks anyway. So it's really, I think we can expect, unfortunately, quite similar statistics if this were to proceed.
Now, the irony is, of course, that you're able to quote statistics in the UK because abortion is available there, but we don't have similar statistics in Gibraltar because although abortions do happen, they are carried out across the border because it's illegal.
In Gibraltar, you're right, we don't have statistics like we do in the UK. What we do have is anecdotal evidence from speaking to from speaking to women, from speaking to their healthcare providers, and what we know is that actually the numbers are similarly high as they are in the UK. So you've actually got a reasonably high number of abortions happening already in Gibraltar, or rather not in Gibraltar, but in Spain and in the UK. So I think, in terms of comparisons, I think you can make a fair comparison. Again, if you look at the US, it's a very similar number. So it's about 20% of pregnancies are terminated, and of that, around 40% are year-on-year repeat abortions. So I think you can look at the statistics worldwide and say that we can expect this of Gibraltar as well if this were to happen.